Okay, 5th grade, now I want you to go and put Roman numeral 2 in your notes and write this question. How can you write a decimal as a fraction? Now we're doing it the other way, and it's basically the same thing. This time you're going to put your decimal in your place value chart and then read it. Okay, so I need you to make another chart like you did before with the same stuff. Give me the ones, put your decimal point, which stands for the word and, put your tenths and hundredths. Then you're going to leave a space to write the fraction and then space to write the word name. So take a second to copy down the chart. You're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 lines to do some problems with me. Okay, we're going to start here. We have 0.7. To read that, we go to the number. This is 7. What place is it in? Tenths. So we know when we read it 7/10. So we know 7 now is going to be our numerator out of how many? What place is it in? 10. So we put it over 10. That's how we get the fraction 7/10. And again, to write it in word name, we put the word 7 and we put the word tenths. Okay, take a minute and get that copied down. Our next one then is 0.2. And you will notice, I'm going to point out here, and I don't want to start bad habits, but some people will read, or you might be asking this question, why don't we read it 0 and 2? When you do not have a whole number here, if it's just 0, you don't read the and. You go automatically to the number and read the place that it's in. So this is 2, and what place? Tenths. So 2 is our numerator, 10 becomes our denominator, and that's your fraction. We write the word name, TWO, and tenths. Again, keeping in mind we need that THS in there because we are working with decimals now. Our next example is 0.1. Put it in your chart, please. And then we read it 1/10. So 1 becomes our numerator, 10 becomes our denominator. We write it in word form, 1/10. Okay, your next one is 0.14. Okay, this time I'm not going to just say 400ths. I have to read both of these digits first. So how do we read 1/4 if it was just by itself? We would say 14. So you would say 14 and then read your word. So this is 1400ths. So that means I put 14 on the top. And now you heard me say the word hundredths. What's going to become our denominator then? Yes, 100. So we put 14 on top and 100 on the bottom. Now, how do we write that in word name? We read this again, 1400ths. So we write the words 14 and then the word hundredths because now we are in the next place value over. Okay, let's go and look at our next one. We have 0.06. Okay, this time I don't have two numbers. I have a 0 holding place value. So we do just go back here and we read it 6 and what? Hundredths. Okay, so now I'm just putting 6 over 100 and then writing it in word form, 6/100ths. Okay, and now we're going to do one more. We have 0.72. Okay, now we have two numbers back again. How would we if we just have 7 and 2, how would we read it? Yes, 72. So 72, and what's the place? Hundredths. So 72 goes on top out of 100. And then write it in word form. 72 and hundredths. Okay, once you have finished your chart, this would be a good time to pause and write down any questions you may have regarding changing your decimal to a fraction. Okay, and now I'm also going to tell you and challenge you to, on your own, I want you to complete page 8, numbers 1 through 4. So you're going to complete page 8, numbers 1 through 4 to get some practice. And also page 9, 8 through 10. Page 9, numbers 8 through 10. If you understood the charts, and you can use your charts to help you complete those few problems.